I got this question from a business owner that prospects say, I want to think about it or I want to start in 2 weeks, despite telling him that they're ready to go right now, just earlier on in the process. How do you get over this objection? And I wanted to share my framework for doing this in my sales team, which is currently doing about $2 million a month top line revenue. And so the specific question he came to me with was, I asked people prior to booking a call, if accepted, are you ready to start right now? So this is in the application phase, this is not on the actual call, and only allow them to book a call if the answer is now or within a week, which makes sense. You do want to have that kind of friction. I think I advised him on that, and it's working well to at least remove all of the garbage. But that's not enough, because prospects often still say, I want to think about it, or I want to get started in 2 weeks. Specifically here, during the call, upon getting to the payment stage. And this is the crux of this issue here. And I wanted to explain it with the framework that we have now. And really, what we're looking at here is a change in leverage throughout the call. So you have the most amount of leverage as a sales rep in the beginning of the call. In the first part of the call, the discovery, oftentimes you have the most amount of leverage because you're not going to even pitch them. You're not even going to tell them about the program. You're not going to tell them how much it costs or when they can get started or what the outcome looks like until you understand that they are a candidate for the program. So in that discovery phase, you have the most amount of leverage and you can ask the most amount of questions, which is what this entire rubric is for, is all these crazy kind of questions that we're going to have to ask to be able to get down to the real answer of when they want to start now, not just when they selected on the application before even talking to you. That's a knee-jerk response. That's a fake answer, and not the actual objection that they give you at the end of the call when they have the most amount of leverage, because now, thank you very much, you've given them all the information they need. They're going to go think about it for 20 years. You want to do it at the very start. And if they don't give you an honest answer, if they are not congruent, if they aren't giving you the kind of information that you need to be able to qualify them, you can DQ them. You can kick them off the call and you can say, honestly, if you're not willing to have an open and honest conversation about this, I don't know how my team is going to be able to help you. So that leverage in the beginning is very important. And I wanted to take you through the talk track and the kind of opportunities that you have to deeply explore a when are you ready to get started right now answer. Because on our team, that does millions of dollars a month, we never accept right now as an answer. We never accept immediately. We never accept last week. We never accept today. We never accept, I guess, right now. We never accept any of those, despite those being positive answers, despite that sounding like a good outcome that you would want from asking, when are you looking to implement? But let's look at, before we look at this and why that's not an acceptable answer, I wanted to look at the negative. So when are you looking to implement? If they say not immediately, I'd want to understand what's got you blocked until then. Why are you on the call now if you're not ready to do something about this now? That sounds a little incongruent. Either one of these two answers work depending on the kind of vibe you're getting from them so far. And this usually should be one of the last few questions you ask before you actually get into the pitch. So hopefully you've built a little bit of rapport up until now, because otherwise this does sound kind of like a salesy question. If you get on the call with them and immediately ask why you're looking to start right now, they're going to be like, well, you're just using that as a tie down to be able to prevent an objection later on in the call. But if this happens 15, 20, 30 minutes into the call, right before the pitch, right before you drop price, before they actually know anything, they're going to be inclined to give you an honest answer and give compliance so that they can get information from you. Because again, you have leverage during this part of the call. What has you blocked until then? Why are you on the call now? If they say window shopping, let's say this is the worst case scenario. Well, what specifically are you window shopping for? What are you looking for? Something specific or just window shopping? I don't even know. Okay, well, if you are just window shopping and you don't know what you're looking for, how would you know when something is a good fit if you don't know what it is you're even looking for? And if they say, I have no idea, this is an opportunity to DQ. This sounds like someone that's just willing to waste your time. And there's absolutely no point in you going another 30 minutes deeper in the conversation if you don't even know that you can help them. But let's say they have a specific criteria that you can provide reviews, testimonials, client averages, guarantees on, some kind of evidence that you'd be able to help them out. That is a positive answer here. And it really is just reaffirming that they are looking for something specific that you would be able to help them out on. And if they say they're just window shopping, they wouldn't know if it's going to be a good fit. It's going to largely depend on the cost. This is a little bit longer of a word track, but this crushes. Totally understand. But oftentimes when you're looking to invest, especially in the success of your business or in the success of whatever your product does, it's not always the cheapest investment that gets you the best return. It's not always the cheapest investment that gets you the best return. And it's hard to understand the value that any company provides unless you do really thorough research on their testimonials, their reviews, what kind of guarantees they offer, all that stuff, which is what I'm trying to help you with here today, is understand the value of what we charge. So that being said, what would the most valuable thing that you would hope to get out of an investment, an agency, a partnership like this be? And again, just reframing that you're not just asking why for why's sake, but you really want to understand what you can show them that would make this a good decision for them. And again, if they say, I have no idea, this is an opportunity to DQ, just get off the phone with the time waster. There's no point. But let's say they answer in the positive. So what specifically you're looking for when they say they're window shopping, if they do give you something quick, great. So if you found exactly that, if you found exactly what you're looking for, would you still want to wait? Would you still want to, not decide right now? Would you still want to pause? Or would you jump in? And if they give you a no, I'd still want to wait. I would want to understand why, but most likely you're going to be DQing at this point. And if they say, I'll do it, great. You've thoroughly explored this window shopping objection, and it shouldn't be an issue when it comes to the close. Another issue is what has you blocked until then. Let's say it is legitimate. Let's say they have a vacation, a wedding, some team that needs to be moved around, a certain budget allocation that they need to fit into that doesn't open up until the next quarter. Okay, well, if we can handle that for you, would you be open to having us take over sooner? So if we can handle that vacation for you, as in get you an extra week, would you be open to starting sooner? If we can handle that staffing objection for you, like you got to fire your CMO and then bring a new one in, but you don't know what the new one looks like, if we can take over some of those CMO roles for a couple of weeks, does that make sense to you? Let's say it's a weight loss offer and they're going on a wedding and they can't start for another 2 weeks because this wedding they know they're going to binge and there's no point in starting right now until after the wedding and they still want to lose weight and it doesn't make sense to start today. Okay, if we can tack on another week or two to the program just so that you can properly start after the wedding, but in the meantime start prepping for it so that you can stock your fridge full of groceries, you can get your workout plan figured out with your coach, you can understand what exactly is going to start in 2 weeks without the actual obligation of paying for those 2 weeks. Would that fit you? And this is where a little bit of help from the marketing side, a little bit of help from the admin side, whoever you've got dealing with the actual deliverables here helps. Having the ability to extend a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever is commonplace in your industry allows you to get over this, to be able to just give your reps some tools to be able to overcome this objection. And then ideally you get a high confidence response or you DQ at this point. Now, looking at the positive responses and why we don't accept these. So when are you looking to implement? They say immediately. Immediately, the conversation stops. We are not just slowing down the vehicle. We're putting the vehicle in park. We're putting the e-brake on. We're getting out of the vehicle. We are lighting the vehicle on fire. Because that knee-jerk response is the exact type of bull crap that you're going to get at the end of the call where there's no thought put into it. They're going to completely forget they even told you this. And there's no point in having a conversation unless you deeply understand why the prospect actually wants to start right now. You never accept a now because you're not actually here for the objection. You're not here to overcome the objection. You're here to understand why. You're here to serve the client. And unless you understand why they want to start now, you have no business pitching them. Let me explain. So why now? What has had you blocked until now? Both of these questions are very relevant. If you ask why now, and they just say, well, I just came across you guys right now. I didn't know I wanted this until I came across you guys. Okay, well, have you tried something like this before? Have you tried something like this in the past? Have you worked with a marketing agency in the past? Have you tried a diet in the past? Have you tried whatever your solution is in the past? If the answer is yes, I would ask why that didn't work before. And really, you're getting deep into their uncertainty objections here, their needs objections that also will come up related to timing, because they're going to use timing as a scapegoat, as a smokescreen. But the real issue here is going to be needs. Oh, well, I had no skill, or I got poor results, or there was low ROI, or it stopped working, whatever. Okay, well, how much is this costing you, both expense currently and opportunity cost potentially? How long has this been the case? Give me the quantifiable cost associated with you previously trying something like this before and having it not worked and having that gap in your business right now. What are the actual costs? Talk me through that. Help me understand. It costs a lot and I've had enough. I need to change. Great. Totally makes sense why you would want to start now. And if they don't give you a great answer here, if they simply don't know, I would loop back around to, and this is a really long doc that I might go into one more time, is some kind of goal setting or benchmarking what the potential outcome is. If they don't know right now what the opportunity cost is, I would look at, is there anyone in their space right now that's killing it that they can compare their results to and see some kind of success or potential outcome that they themselves could experience. And if not, I would just want to know, why are they even on a marketing call if they don't know what the potential outcome is? But let's say they have never tried something like this before. So the answer is no. If you're brand new to social media, it's a lot of work. And this is just are how we kind of DQ at this point, or we try to push for a DQ if it doesn't make sense, because I don't want to pitch anyone that doesn't want to be here. So if no, they've never tried something like this before, I'm going to be honest with them. I'm going to say, honestly, dude, if you're brand new to social media, it's a lot of work. On average, we need about 5 hours a month of your time at the start to get this set up. Do you think that's worth it for you? Do you think that's realistic? If they say no, DQ, as you should. If they say yes, why? So if you think it's worth it, prove it to me. How is that worth it? Why are you on this call right now? And you better give me a high confidence response, or if it doesn't make sense to you, it's not going to make sense to us either. Again, you have more leverage in the call at this point of the call, the discovery, because you haven't given up any information and they are here along for the ride. They want to be pitched. They want to know the price. They want to know if they can find some way to make this work for their business. And unless you leverage that here to actually understand why and how we can help them, there's no point in pitching them. But let's say they want to start immediately. Why now? What has you blocked until now? Well, I just got XYZ in place, which has freed up my time. Well, I just discovered a new constraint and I see this as a solid solution. I just became aware of this stuff and I saw the testimonials and I need to take advantage of this opportunity that I know exists in my marketplace. All of those are sufficient answers. And when you get these kinds of answers, you are not going to get a timing objection. If they tell you, I just got my new marketing manager in place and they said we need to rock on organic short form social media, which is what my marketing agency helps with, they are not going to also tell you, I need a couple more months to figure out this thing with my new marketing manager who told me I need to do social media. No. We've already had that conversation. You want them to explain to you why they actually need it, because creating that reason creates congruency later in the call. They are not going to be incongruent and tell you the opposite of what they just told you 15 minutes ago. They will tell you the opposite of what they told you on the application before the call, because they simply forgot it. Or if you ask a really weenie question here, like where are you looking to implement, they say now, and you just take it and move on, they've also forgotten that they've given you that answer. They haven't properly thought it through themselves. And so when it comes down to actually making a move, they need to think about it because they haven't thought it through already with you on call. So I hope this is at least somewhat helpful and makes you at least some kind of money to prevent that objection right at the end, which always comes after the price drop, or I want to think about it, or I want to get started in 2 weeks.